Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Ciro Ahmada. I'm the VP and responsible of the Americas region for Armacell. Armacell is a mechanical and technical expert and leader in insulation materials. We operate globally, and as I said, my responsibilities are within the Americas, US, Canada, and of course, Latin America. So within that context, as you can imagine, with the size of the geographical spread of the US, supply chain and how we serve our customers is critical. 3 years ago, we started really improving and focusing on that area. So also in a timely manner, because this was before COVID started. But certainly one of the things that we did is we addressed many of the pillars of the supply chain, starting from the customer service and how we approach it, but also on all the other aspects like planning, all the roles of SIOP, how we supply the logistics and so forth. So that you have a feeling of where we were, we had an on time in full KPI measurement, and we were scoring 38%. This was an absolute disaster. And at that time, we were pretty overwhelmed with all the issues that we were dealing with. So internally, we decided we need to reach out, find a trustable partner that can support us in improving drastically this mission. We reached out to LMA. LMA collaborated finally with us over a year, if I'm not mistaken, and there were a couple of aspects that we addressed. First of all, I would like to highlight the strong expertise that they have in SAP. As you can imagine, their tools, their processes, their people aspects, right? We need to motivate the people, we need to address the processes, and certainly we need to make sure we have the tools in place. So the first thing that LMA did was really making sure that all the SAP knowledge that they have came into the table. So they dig deep into understanding where were the disrupted steps and processes that were not working. We had several areas where things were not systemic, there were manual interventions. So one of the roles was really making sure that you make it systemic, and that sounds very easy, but there's a lot of planning, there's a lot of understanding that needs to go into place before you make it automatic. This is something that LMA addressed and successfully. Another aspect they were engaged with is the SIOP. All the discussions in terms of what information and relevant information is available as a dashboard so that we can decide and execute properly. As you can imagine, in this high-paced, disruptive environment, you don't have spare time. You need to make sure that you're very targeted, very focused in terms of how you do things. Also there, LMA was constantly with us, discussing, understanding, asking questions, being very humble and being very supportive with the team. There's a lot of soft aspects also here coming into place, is the patience that you need to have to listen to what are the needs. Train those people once you have solutions, and make sure also that you're very disciplined and determined to make sure that you create a habit within that team so that the results eventually materialize. So also here, every time, every week, there were many meetings. Every Friday, there was a touch point where we analyzed the key indicators, the key actions, maybe the other way around, first the actions and then the indicators. What were the results of all the hard work of that week? And this went on over years. As you can imagine, that's not a 100-meter race, it's a marathon. And for that, you need to keep the people engaged, you keep them motivated. And throughout that period of time, we improved and improved and improved. We achieved, thanks to their support, all the goals that we had defined. And ultimately, as I told you, we started with a 38% on time in full, and we ended with almost an average of 87 and reached 92% on time in full ranges. This, after COVID, and with all the supply chain disruptions that we have gone through, shows maybe clearly the solid work that was done with LMA, with the team, in a, let's say, motivational way, because today also those results are sustainable. The mission was finished, LMA stopped working with us, and those results are steady. The team knows what needs to be done. The tools that were put in place are working, and there's a clear journey as well and clarity in terms of what else needs to be done now in our control, because that would not be LMA expertise. But certainly there's no way we could be where we are without the teamwork, the partnership, and the commitment of LMA team. So certainly here, I close this by thanking Lisa, Liz, all the team members that were always positive, always curious, understanding what needed to be done, discovering that. And believe me, it was not a walk in the park. This is a work where you need to dig deep into Excel files, numbers, and nothing that keeps you motivated. But they made it happen. We made it happen. And as I said before, thank you very much for that.